Well, here we are, friends. Another year has passed, and oh my God, where is time flying? I mean, it's just unbelievable how quickly it goes. But well, it is what it is. But I always like the end of the year because for me, it's really a great time for reflection, right? Of all the goals that I set myself in the previous year for this year, then kind of look at what of those goals I achieved, as well as an honest reflection of which one I haven't and what to work on. And then obviously, lastly, look ahead for the coming year and go through my goals for that. And that's exactly what I want to do in this video. Really transparent review of my life, and hopefully it will inspire some of you to kind of set maybe some of your own goals for the coming year. And really, I encourage all of you, regardless of where you are in your life, in your career, whatever it is, start tracking your goals, right? The same how we track our investments and other things. It's so important to write down your goals, hold yourself accountable, start tracking them, and then see the progress over time. Because honestly, I had some goals that have been on my list for many, many years. I've been tracking that for, I think, over 10 years, my goals. And it's really nice to see a lot of them being accomplished, while others keep on being dragged year after year. And then at some stage you think either revise the goal or kind of really attack it this specific year. So yeah, I think it's really important. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So hold yourself accountable, track it, and also celebrate your wins. And honestly, I can reflect for this year, it was one arguably of the most eventful years and also in a way successful years for me. And I'm super, super grateful for it. And all of you, of course, for supporting me on this journey. But yeah, we'll jump right in to the mind map that I do, which I really like to kind of keep things organized and help myself, to stay on top of things and know where to focus on. Right, so here we are inside the mind map. And here I want to start off with the 2024 goals that I set myself for this year when I did it end of last year, right? So very quick reflection on what I wanted to do is to run my first marathon. But unfortunately, I did not manage because when I came to Dubai, it was just after the marathon was happening, and then I had so many things going on. So I didn't really have time to run a marathon anywhere else, to fly there and so forth. So I moved that goal for this year, and actually it's happening in around 3 weeks from now. So I'm really excited. So it didn't happen in 2024, but it will happen definitely in 2025. Then I set myself the goal of making 10,000 euros net, meaning after taxes, a month. And obviously that was quite a challenging task because this was my first year as being my own boss, right? Previously, I always worked in a corporate environment. I used to be a 5-star luxury hotel general manager, and there obviously have a lot of benefits and comfort, and of course also a nice pay package, right? But yeah, that was quite a stretch in the first year, but I'm super happy that I actually managed to hit that number. Maybe not the first 2-3 months, but shortly after this, I actually did it, and I'm really happy and excited with this. And it's so funny with anything in life, right? Once you hit your goal, you're looking for the next goal. And well, that's the same with me, right? I'm super grateful for it, but now of course, having achieved it, you're like, well, what else is possible, right? But we'll come to this in the goal for the coming years. But definitely it's a great foundation to build upon going forward. Then, of course, my goal was to move to Dubai and have my own Dubai company, which I have successfully accomplished. Really happy about this. And it was quite the process, but we used an agency for this, which really made our life easier to get it started up and running and so forth. But now that it is, honestly, it's just incredible. And of course, all the tax advantages that come with it. But yeah, I'm really, really happy that this is finally behind us. Then I had a goal for this year to hit 30K YouTube subscribers. We'll come to this in a second for my wins and losses. Not quite there. Still a few days left in the year, but I don't think we're going to get there. But either way, right? I also like to set myself goals that challenge me a little bit, that might be a little bit too ambitious, because even if I fall short, I still honestly overall see nice progress, right? And yes, I didn't hit that number directly, but I'm still feeling extremely grateful for the growth the channel has seen. Even with a small channel, it actually provides me a really nice standard of living and even more money to invest into my future investment to grow my net worth and so forth. So yeah, obviously I'm still very, very early on my YouTube journey, but I'm really grateful for it, and hopefully we'll get to that number very soon. The same, I had some goals for Instagram, even though, it's so funny now, I do a bit of Instagram, but not really, really actively. I post stories pretty much every day, but these posts and reels, I just don't enjoy doing them also, because sometimes they take as much time as a YouTube video to edit a perfect reel, and ultimately the monetization of it, it's significantly less, right? On a good long YouTube video, you can make way more money than on a short reel. And I personally also don't really enjoy watching them nor making them, because especially for financial content, it's a bit different, right? If you have something funny or entertaining, maybe it's cool to watch to kind of pass time. But if you want to convey a real message or deep thought or financial thinking or strategies, I just don't think it's really meant for short form content. And well, again, I still gonna continue putting out content because I genuinely believe it's important to diversify across different platforms, because yeah, obviously you don't want to only rely on one. Yes, YouTube will be the bread and butter for me, the main, funnel of getting traffic and eyeballs, but definitely I want to continue also putting out content on Instagram, as well as recently I started a profile on X. So if you're not following me on X or formerly Twitter yet, definitely do so. I'll put out quite a bit of content there as well. And then I had a goal of launching my first online course in 2024. Unfortunately, it did not happen. I'll come to this in a second later. But yeah, this is still something I'll look at for the coming year. With this, we move to the 2024 wins, because obviously, as I said, it's very important to celebrate your wins, right? Don't only put yourself down. If you didn't achieve something, that's fine. It can happen. We're all humans. But focus also on your wins and celebrate those. I think it's very important. And for me, definitely, it was the first year of being an entrepreneur. After 15 years of working in one company in the corporate career, which I'm honestly super grateful for. It was an amazing experience. I worked in many different countries. I was living in China, in the UAE, in Lithuania. I was working in Switzerland, so many different places. So for me, it was really difficult to leave that comfort zone behind, right? The golden handcuff, if you wish. So yeah, for me, it was a big, big step. And a lot of people said, Kai, are you crazy? You're leaving this corporate career. You worked so hard to become a general manager. I was the youngest general manager in the company ever. But I just thought there's more to life than getting an increase of your salary every few years. And then maybe they move you around to another hotel or country. It was just more of the same. And it was very repetitive. I didn't feel I was growing anymore or adding much more value, right? Because there's only so much you can do. And yeah, so when I left the job, honestly, a lot of people said, Kai, I'm sure you're going to be back to hospitality soon. And well, honestly, I can tell you 1 year later, no chance, like no way. Even if my earnings will go down significantly, I will do whatever I can to make sure I'll be my own boss, because it's the best experience ever to have your own baby, see that grow, right? I have the flexibility. I can work from anywhere, anytime I wish. The time and location freedom is absolutely incredible. I'm so grateful for that. And yeah, I'm really happy, and it went much better than expected. I was prepared to not earn a single euro. Well, technically, I wish I would be, but even if I didn't, right, obviously I had enough savings to sustain me for 1 year, right? And I said to myself, worst case, I can always come back, to kind of have that back door open. But now, obviously, that I start seeing the success, I'm definitely going to double down. And you start also seeing more opportunities, which previously, when I was employed, I never saw. But now that you have your own business, I already have so many business ideas that I think of that I would like to pursue. But obviously, I still want to focus on certain niches, right? I can't do everything, because otherwise you spread yourself too thin. But yeah, it's been real game changer. And yeah, if you have that in your mind to ever try, just go for it, right? Because there's never going to be a perfect time, right? I could have waited another 10 years being employed and then go for it. But the chances are that you leave everything behind you when you're 50. It's probably less likely than when you're in your 30s or 40s even. So the sooner, the better. Go for it. Worst case, you can always get a job. But I think there's so many great opportunities out there, and I'm super grateful for that. Now, obviously, as I said, I'm really happy with the way my financial journey has also been developing. And yeah, I'm really happy to have now made already much more as a monthly income than in my previous job, which was already a 6-figure annual income after taxes. So yeah, definitely really happy with the progress. And I can see that while I'm still so small, right, and only starting off, I think long term I can really build on that and obviously continue to grow that number even more going forward. Of course, success story of having moved to Dubai, and with all the things that have been going on, actually quite stressful, because we came here at the beginning of the year to obviously get settled in, set up our companies, get the golden visa, and then also find a place to live. And that really took us a time to find the right place, because Dubai, yeah, it can be really very different experience depending on where you live. So finally, we found, I would say for now, our dream apartment. The more we see of Dubai, the more we absolutely love where we're living. We're renting at the moment, even though I have my 2 own properties that I'm renting out to others. So I get a rent income. And then obviously here we are renting ourselves. And in the future, we might look into buying, of course. But yeah, right now prices are at an all-time high for sure. But eventually, probably we're going to stay here for longer. And it does make sense to buy our own property here year as well. Another win was definitely the fact that we also finished off our Vilnius apartment in Lithuania, which we bought at the end of last year. And it's still not 100% ready to move in. Definitely by the summer of next year, when we plan to come back to Vilnius to live there for a few months in summer when it's too hot in the UAE. That's the beauty of being able to work anywhere, right? We can, move between countries, and the plan is always to spend the summer in Europe, in Vilnius, beautiful place, and the rest of the year obviously here in Dubai. And obviously it has been quite expensive to get all the things sorted and so forth, but we're really happy that we did it now, and yeah, really excited to finally move there and live our first time in this apartment. So looking forward, and of course I'm going to give you a nice apartment tour once it's ready. Of course, as I said, while I didn't hit the 30K, I managed to hit 25K, which, yeah, as I said, is still a very small channel. But at the same time, when I started off, when I thought of ever reaching 25K, I thought, oh my God, seems impossible. Because I still remember the first few weeks and months, getting 1-2 subscribers in a day was like so hard. It was so slow. I mean, it was crazy to reach to 1,000 subscribers. It seemed like forever to get there. And now it's more than 1,000 a month. So it's really amazing. I can see the accelerated growth over time already. So really, really grateful. Of course, eventually my goal is to hit 100K, right? So we still have a long way to go, but really, really grateful for each and every one of you who subscribed and supported my journey and channel growth over time. And in case you haven't subscribed yet and watching all the way until now, then it's perfect time to do so to not miss a future update video. Another win for the year was, of course, also the launch of my Smart Money Club, which I'm really happy with. It's an online community of like-minded people where we have bi-weekly calls, we share different thoughts and ideas and discussions and so forth. People can reach out and DM me directly. So yeah, it's been really great. Quite a few members in there. I didn't even have it as a goal for this year, but probably that came instead of the online course, which I actually planned. That came up as a membership option, and really happy with the development of that. Then, of course, I launched my second business as well, which I just did a couple of weeks ago. I will do a future update video about this. I said it before, I know, but honestly, I still want to start building it up further. It's a business that does not generate major money from the beginning, so I want to show it to you a little bit later once it's up and running and already starts showing signs of success. So I think it just makes more sense to talk about it then. But yeah, it's up and running, really happy with this. And lastly, might surprise some of you, but I'm really happy with the way I embraced AI for myself. Now, obviously, I'm really passionate about the topic of AI, but sometimes it's one thing watching videos about it or reading about it, and the other thing is to actually embrace it in your everyday life. And now I can really tell you, for some of the things I'm doing, I should actually have employees, right? And some people say, well, Kai, why don't you hire anyone? And now I really make it a case for me to make sure I utilize AI as much as possible to not have to do that. I know on the one hand side it sounds harsh, but I think since I have the opportunity, right, to use AI to do all these tasks and automate as much as possible, why not, right? And I continue to be blown away by how good AI is. Yes, I know. If you just type in a random prompt, you get a random answer, you say, well, it's not really impressive. Well, it's the same way as telling an employee to kind of just do some work, write something interesting, write a blog, right? The person has no idea unless you really prompt the person. So it's a separate topic in itself, and I will make future videos around the topic of AI because I think it is the future. There's no way around it. Like it or not, it's here to stay. It's only going to get better, right? It's the worst it's ever going to be. In 1, 2, 3 years, it's going to be significantly better, no doubt about it. And yeah, I really incorporate it in every day. In most of the things I do, I use AI, and really, really happy. And I honestly can't recommend it enough for you to do the same as well. Another success in 2024 was actually that I quit alcohol for the entire year. And you saw it wasn't even on my goals list because I actually came up with this on the night of the New Year's Eve last year, right? I was drinking a little bit there with some friends, we're at the party, and I really didn't enjoy it at all, right? And the feeling next day. And since then, I decided in the morning not to drink alcohol for the whole year. And honestly, best decision ever. I haven't missed it at all. Yes, maybe in summer a little bit, or when we're at the wedding, you think about it. But now, after 1 year, I just don't miss anything. On the contrary, I'm feeling better than I ever have. Super fit, never have headaches, never feel hangover. My weight is stable, and it's just so good. And honestly, I can't recommend it enough. And I can see a nice trend globally with more and more people stopping to drink. And there's some great alternatives, right? I mean, I still have non-alcoholic beers, for example, sometimes, or other things. And it's really, really tasty. And yeah, I found it really easy, and I'll come to this for my goals for next year, but I'm not quitting now. Don't worry, it's not after 1 year and then I'll start again. I definitely don't see any reason why I would ever want to start drinking alcohol again. consistent running. I'm also really happy. Obviously, I have to gear up for my marathon in 3 weeks from now. So I've been really running quite consistently this year. Could have been more, yes, but especially again, the last few weeks, really consistent and a lot of long runs. And my personal record was actually to run 100 kilometers in 1 week, which I did a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really excited about that. So I think I'm really feeling ready for the marathon. And of course, also the fact that I continue to dollar cost average, where I invest every single week a certain amount into my investments. I'm really happy with this. And obviously I made a number of videos around this topic. And lastly, I hit a major milestone for myself, which I was really blown away. As you know, I track my net worth every single month, and I recommend all of you to do the same. I have a free net worth tracker in the description down below, which you can use for yourself, track your own numbers. And yeah, when I did it last month, I was really surprised that I finally hit a major milestone, and I'll make a separate video around this topic very soon. Now let's come to the losses of 2024. And honestly, that section took me probably the longest because yeah, it's been a real good year for me. I mean, losses are great, right? They make you stronger and you can learn from it, but I just really couldn't think of too many, which is also a nice problem to have, I guess. So the first one, I can't really say loss, but of course in hindsight, I wish I would have invested more into Bitcoin when it was still at 40,000 in this year, right? Hard to imagine. Now everybody would have bought much more, but yeah, arguably this was one of the losses where I wish I would have been, a bit more committed and spent a bit more money in Bitcoin, but it is what it is. I'm still happy to have increased my holdings over time, and I'll continue to dollar cost average into Bitcoin going forward. This is probably my biggest loss. I can really say that financially as well. I did do a little bit of meme coin trading. I got carried away, right? And I'm really open about it, right? I mean, I talk about conservative investing, and that's what I do 99% of the time. But yes, I'm also human, right? I got carried away with all these people posting their crazy gains online from meme coins. You put $100 and it turned into $10,000, $20,000 the next day. And yeah, after a while I thought, maybe I'll just try play around with this a little bit. I was in some Telegram groups and following the signals of some other investment gurus. So yeah, really going against my own advice. And obviously it turned out to be not very smart. While I did make for a while, I did turn 5,000 euros that I invested into at some stage 26,000 euros. I felt like the trading king of the world. Well, guess what? A couple of weeks later, it turned to pretty much zero. So I lost quite a bit of money on this. But again, ultimately, I took it as a learning lesson, and it just reconfirmed to me that my original strategy of dollar cost averaging into things I understand over time is the best way to go forward, because a lot of these people that you see online tell you, buy this stock, buy this meme coin, you're gonna make crazy money. And yes, maybe for a short time they make. Yes, maybe for a few weeks, maybe a few months. But long term, it's just statistically almost impossible to outperform the market. So why would I try that? And for me, that was really the last time I did that. I will not be doing that anymore. If you do and you're successful, great, but be very careful, because while the gains can be really fast, really high, it can equally go in the other way real fast, and you can be losing a lot of money over there. And lastly, my email newsletter, Smart Money Moves, which I was supposed to send out every single week. And I did that for a while until I think middle of the year. But then with so much going on with the move, with the company, with YouTube videos, I'm doing 3 videos a week, right? So many things going on. Then my new business that I started, I just kind of dropped the ball a little bit on that. Then eventually I sent it every 2 weeks, sometimes every 3 weeks. So not really happy with this, and definitely something I want to pick up again in 2025 to make sure I go back to a weekly newsletter. And also the format I was thinking, right? Rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, I think I'm going to cover more market related news, right? What's happening, like a digest of the weekly news, what happened and what it means for us investors. So I think that might be relevant for you, and also for me, kind of, just taking what's already out there and interpreting it myself. That hopefully is useful for you, rather than always forcing yourself to come up with some creative content or unique financial angle or idea, which sometimes just a thought that takes you to get to that pushed me away from sending the newsletter in the first place, right? So now I want to simplify that serves you and obviously makes my life easier so I can be more consistent with it. All right, with this, let's move to the goals of 2025. And here we have a couple. Now, obviously, marathon, that's very important. I really want to do it finally. Definitely run under 4 hours. The more I can go down from the 4-hour mark will be great. But yeah, anywhere 3-hour 50 or something, towards 3:30 would be amazing. I'm not sure I'm going to hit 3-hour 30. That'll be incredible. But somewhere between 3:30 and 4 hours, that's the goal. Definitely under 4 hours. But I'm feeling ready, really excited for it. It's going to be 12th of January in Dubai. I'll let you know how it went. Then, of course, as I said, I'll continue. No alcohol. I have no intention of drinking it. And honestly, I can't see myself ever drinking it. And it's so funny now when I see people boozing and get all drunk and so forth. For me, it really looks like weakness, you know, the way they're harming their body, they're losing their mind. It just looks ridiculous, right? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not judging anyone who drinks. That's totally fine. But for me, it's just not really exciting anymore. It was more the social aspect in the past, kind of you want to feel part when people say, oh, you're not a real man, you're not drinking. When I hear people say that to me, I know actually they're not the smartest people and not really friends I want to hang out with. I mean, if people don't respect me not drinking, then they're not going to be my friends. That's definitely for sure. I respect them drinking. I have nothing against it. I won't judge them, but personally, I will refrain from doing so. Another goal I want to do for this year is 10,000 steps per day. I track it with my phone, with my Apple Watch, and I have done that most of the days. Actually, my daily average for 2024 is 14,000, but that is because some days I had obviously real long runs, right, with steps over 30,000 and so forth. But then other days, I would just be sitting here filming videos or working away. And those days, I maybe have 4,000, 5,000 steps. And you want to make sure you have at least every single day more than 10,000. At least for me, I just feel better about it. Another thing I really look forward to is my first High Rocks event. I don't know if you're familiar with High Rocks, but it's basically a real cool endurance and strength event, right? Similar to CrossFit, but more also including endurance, which I really like. So running and strength. And obviously there are races all around the world. You can see here, they're really happening and really exciting atmosphere. I saw some of the videos, really incredible, and really looking forward to doing my very first in Sharjah in the UAE in next year. And yeah, I'm really training a lot for this, and I'll definitely keep you updated how that is going. Next up, of course, when we talk about income, as I've shown you before, my goal for next year is definitely to double my income. That's my goal. Let's see how it goes. But I'm really feeling confident that if I do certain things right, especially my second business starting to kick in with some more income as well, I really feel that this should be achievable, and that's my goal. So I'm going to make it happen. In terms of YouTube, of course, I can't control subscriber numbers, right? It's up to you and up to anyone watching to subscribe or not. But of course, hopefully, if things continue the way they do, then I would also love to double my subscriber count from 25 to 50K. Should be reasonable. Let's see. If I fall short, so be it, right? I can't control it. What I can control is how often I put out content and the quality of it, right? So if I do these things right, then hopefully the subscribers will follow accordingly. And finally, next year, I will definitely want to come out with my online course. People keep on asking me about it. And while I was thinking it's a bit sleazy and cheesy, right? Everybody has their online course and maybe it's not so popular anymore. Same time, there is demand. People ask me for it. And while the Smart Money Club is great, it's a membership, it's often difficult to satisfy all the needs, right? Because some people like real estate, others watch my channel, they like ETFs, others like crypto. And those people are very much different, right? So I think if you have an online course for a specific problem, you can really help specific people, right? If you're interested in buying an ETF and really want to know everything about the best way, what to buy, where to buy, how to buy, well, then I have a course for you for ETFs. The same for crypto, right? A lot of people, they really struggle getting the crypto from the exchange to the hardware wallet and so forth. So why not help them specifically with a specific course? Maybe not like a 20-hour course, but a specific course that solves a specific problem, right? The same way how you go to a pharmacy, you say what's the problem, they give you the solution, the right pill in this case. And I think online courses can be great for that. We'll see which topic I'll start with, but eventually I want to have a number of different topics that will help people along their investment journey. Well, there you have it. Honestly, I'm super grateful for 2024. It's been an exciting year, to say the least. So many things have happened, especially being my own boss for my first year ever. It's been the greatest experience. I'm so grateful for it. I think 2025 is only going to get better. And as I always say, the best is yet to come. And once again, I can only encourage you to do the same exercise for yourself. Go through, just write it down on a piece of paper, on a computer, whatever works, right? It doesn't matter, no right or wrong, but just write down your goals, your wins, your losses, and goals for next year, and just keep tracking that over time, and hopefully you will see some nice progress. As always, friends, thank you so much for being with me for the whole year. Really appreciate each and every one of you for liking, subscribing, commenting. It really means the world to me. And with this, I wish you a beautiful end to the year and an amazing year ahead. Let's crush 2025. And as always, stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next year. Ciao.